Hey, what's up, guys? There's a thought out there in photography, landscape photography in particular, that you need a new camera like every couple years to keep up with the game. Like, what camera do you get? Do you get envious about other people's cameras? Well, before you do anything, I want you to watch this video because I'm here to tell you that you actually don't need to upgrade to a new camera. Coming up. Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome into the channel where I help you improve your landscape photography through online videos. So if you're into landscape photography at all, consider subscribing to this channel. Now, in this video in particular, we're talking new gear, new cameras. Like, why do you not particularly need a new camera? Where there's always this thought or belief that you get into landscape photography and like this is your entry-level camera and this is the camera that you're starting out with, and then over time you continuously progress because you get better, therefore you need a better camera. Well, I'm here to kind of like argue that fact and debunk it a little bit, just because I don't necessarily believe it based on my experience in landscape photography. See, I started out about 10 years ago with a Canon Rebel T2i, a tiny little kit camera with 2 kit lenses, and I continuously shot with that camera for about 5 years. Then I switched to this camera, the Sony a6000, and I haven't really used any other cameras since then. Now, I've tested other cameras like Fujifilm, things like that, but I've never really steered away from this camera in particular. So I've built a whole career. Landscape photography is my full-time job around this one camera. This camera is actually about 5 years old in itself. I've had it for a long time. I just have this ultra wide angle Rokinon 12mm f2 lens that I use quite frequently when I go out and shoot landscapes. But there's always this thought that to take better photos, you have to invest or get a better camera, and that's just not true. See, I was talking to a friend the other day on Instagram DM. You can follow me at David Johnston Photo. If you're on Instagram, hit me up, I'll follow you back. But she was DMing me and she was saying, here's some example photos, and they just had a kit camera. It was their first DSLR they'd ever had. And I said, wow, those are amazing photos. And she says something that really hit me square in between the eyes. And she said, yeah, the camera helps us take a lot better photos. That's not true. Does a new spatula make you a better cook? Does a new pen make you a better writer? No. You're the photographer. You're dealing with the product and the piece of equipment that helps you take photos. Sure, it helps you and it assists you as you go out into the field and use it for the knowledge that you have. But overall, you're the photographer. You're the one controlling it and using it. So the camera doesn't make you a better photographer. You controlling the camera makes you a better photographer. And going through that argument, it kind of gets away from this over anxiety of getting a new camera and all the choices that are out there and the price that goes along with it. Not everybody can shell out $2,000 a year for the next latest and greatest camera that comes out, whether you're shooting Canon, Nikon, Sony, Fuji, whatever, Panasonic, it doesn't matter. It kind of gets you away from this thought of this gear acquisition syndrome that people talk about, or GAS as photographers say. And it kind of helps you get away from that and just practice with the camera that you already have. Now, okay, conclusion wise, where do you spend that money if you're not investing in gear? Spend that money in experiences. Spend that money in going places and practicing with the camera that you have, because that's how you're going to impact your photos and take better photos and really conquer and level up your game to here, instead of stay down here, constantly buy new cameras and think, why are my photos not improving? You're taking that investment that you would have spent in gear and you're spending it in experience and practice, working on your composition and working on your skills in the outdoor landscape. This is why you don't need to buy a new camera. This is why you don't need a new camera. I know this is probably going to be a lot of unpopular comments below in the comment section, but Hey, if you have been shooting with the same camera, I want to hear from you. If you're shooting with an old camera and you're still producing great photos, I want to hear from you. Comment below in the comment section if you're shooting with a camera that's 5 years old.